Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the world of ChatGPT.
Yeah, another thing about ChatGPT. So I think it was, and we should have, a penalty every time we mention the word Elon or Musk. But there we are. He said that ChatGPT is the end of homework, which is true. Most of the discussions around ChatGPT are around universities and colleges panicking and blocking. Oh my God, that'll help. Blocking the URL when the students are on the university or high school's ground. But there was one thing, I've been using it intensely for the past month or so, and it's of course the business model is based on commercial companies getting API access to ChatGPT and then building other services on top of that, the way DALL-E has, and basically. But I got the news this week, with kind of worrying, that the ChatGPT has introduced a new feature called watermarking text. So
that's bad for the students, I think.
That's bad, It's like doing a PowerPoint presentation and then your images still have like Getty Images watermark on it. That's when everybody knows that you were too cheap to buy your own stock images. So how exactly does a language model watermark the text?
Yeah, I think it's difficult to do, no?
No, it's not, because it's an AI. It uses cryptography, obviously, and it kind of sneaks patterns of words and letters and punctuations in a secret, as a secret code sneaks it into the text.
So if the students adjust it a little bit, then it's...
Yes, of course, that's of course, because I can smell a ChatGPT text from miles away now. It does, if you don't, it's just like with the text-to-image AIs, if your prompt is not good enough, it'll just do something out of its own image of what it thinks is a good text. It's not always true. My advice is to use that other AI-driven platform where you can adjust the style, which is Grammarly. I use Grammarly a lot. I've been using the professional version for 3 years now, I think. So Grammarly now knows my writing style.
So that's also AI.
It's also AI driven, but in the sense that it's not generative AI.
No.
So Grammarly doesn't write for you the way Jasper or Copy.ai they write for you, but Grammarly doesn't write for you. But the AI part of Grammarly is that it learns from the spelling and grammar corrections that it presents to you. So after a while, it will learn from what you accept as the corrections in Grammarly. And so what I do, like I said, I wrote another handbook in the past 3 weeks. It's not written by ChatGPT, but let's just say that every time I got some sort of a mini writer's block. It's good to have this writing assistant next to you to come up with some ideas in bullet points usually, and then I could get going again, and then I would make sure that it was written in my style by just feeding it to Grammarly, my Grammarly.
But then you're writing a book in a really fast time.
Yes, I wrote a 300-page handbook called Digital Content Like a Pro. So it's become a whole series now. It started with Digital Marketing Like a Pro, then Video Marketing Like a Pro, and now there's Content Marketing Like a Pro. And usually it takes me like 3 months to complete a book. And now it took me 3 weeks.
Wow.
So in terms of, I think the impact of this type of generative AI is in terms of productivity. And all these discussions about are you still the author of a text, or where's the copyright, plagiarism, that type of thing, they're moot. To me, they're moot. That's not the point. It is about productivity and then allowing creatives who write, who design,
True, design
who make videos, because that's the logical next step, to have this whole production cycle shortened by a factor 10, and that's I'm willing to pay for, absolutely.
It's like the time that the kids before the phone, now it's before AI.
Before AI, yeah.
So,
but I remember when, as you know, I was already on the internet when you were still, when it was still in black and white and only open 2 or 3 hours a day. And I remember the exact same discussion when Wikipedia was created. When it came to schools and homework and writing, and people would say, yeah, but then everyone will just copy paste from Wikipedia. So that didn't happen either. Wikipedia is a starting point for research. It can show you the way for your thinking process, and then you can see what Wikipedia themselves say that they are the worst possible source to quote if you're writing a book or a thesis. So,
but can you imagine how Wikipedia can benefit from this as well? Because
of course,
it's all about writing by people, Wikipedia.
I think the first thing that developer teams feed into any language model AI is the whole of Wikipedia. That's, I think, is logical. And then anything that on the rest of the internet that Wikipedia links to is also included, and then the AI spiders on from there. So I think that's how the training starts. But another tool, we're mentioning text-to-image, and as you know, Canva.com included text-to-image. I think it's based on Stable Diffusion. So what I use now, I've been on a roll. I've started blogging again. So I started my personal blog at bnox.be in 2004. And then when you look at the archive, I used to be a lot more active, of course, because at first I would blog 3 or 4 times a day, and sometimes it was just a link dump. But when Twitter came along, it kind of didn't replace the blog, but just, sharing links to interesting stuff on the web. That's what Twitter took, right? And then the newsletter came. So actually just sitting behind my keyboard and then start typing a blog post, that I hadn't done that in like 10 years. And then somewhere between Christmas and New Year's Eve, I just started blogging. I think I wrote 6 blog posts in the past week. And I'm really happy with the blog posts. Like I said, there's something that catches my eye in the course of the week. Like I wrote a blog post about chronic pain, or I wrote a blog post about just anything that catches my eye. The fact that a lot of old movies and books and magazines from the year 1927 are now available for the public. The copyright has expired now. So a blog post about that. So that's great.